Shalom, shalom, real motivation. Terrence McKinney back with a brand new video. Off top, before I start the video, I want to give all praises to the Most High. Today's video is called Cancel Our Culture. I know everybody done heard of cancel culture and what it means, but this video is about how we as a people need to cancel our culture. And when I say as a people, I'm talking about anybody who look like me in this country of America. And today we're just going to talk about how we need to cancel our culture, because if you just look around, the culture that was given to us is not a culture that we should be partaking in, to be honest. I mean, our culture is all messed up, and we as a people, we need to cancel that culture and start from scratch basically, and build that culture back up, because our culture is messed up. Ain't no way around it. Like, everything is messed up with our culture. And I'm just going to give a couple of things we need to scrap and need to do from the beginning and do it the right way. Number one, we got to get rid of this so-called religion thing. I mean, this was given to us. I mean, Catholic, Protestant, Methodist, Baptist, Lutheran. I mean, any church denomination you can name, all that stuff was given to us. All that stuff was started by a man. All that stuff was started within the last 300 to 400 years. Probably right at the time, right before we got in this country. And a lot of these traditions and religions was started before we even had the know-how or the possibility to learn how to read. And when you read the Bible, it don't call for none of those religions at all. You can't find out one of those religions in the Bible. All those religions are started by man. And when you read the Bible, it tells you to be holy. That's it. It tells you to be holy. It tells you to follow the commandments and keep your faith in Christ. But it don't call for no religion out there. And we so caught up in all these religions, we going every which way. Every Sunday we going to a different church with a different denomination, and we think we doing the right thing, but we not doing the right thing. And a lot of these churches and these religions got us trapped and got us brainwashed, and it's got us moving astray, and it's got us thinking it's okay to do this, it's okay to accept this, it's okay, we should just love. And all these religions and some of the stuff they doing just go against what the Bible is saying completely. And when we go in there, we listen to these preachers and we listen to these reverends, and they preach to us and they give us a word, but half of the time, that word ain't got nothing to do with the Bible. They teaching on their own precepts. They teaching on their own tradition. They celebrating the pagan holidays. They doing all type of stuff that go against everything the Bible got to say. And so we got to realize that those traditions and those religions, that wasn't our culture all the time. That was gave to us. And so we got to scratch that. We got to get rid of this religion stuff. And I'm a Baptist, you a Methodist. We got to scratch that, man, because that ain't our culture. And that's one thing that we got to get rid of. Another thing we got to get rid of, we got to get rid of this brother against brother, crab in a bucket mentality, man. It's since day one that been our culture. Since we were slaves, we was pitted against each other. Everybody done heard it, the house Negro versus the field Negro. Like, since 400 years ago, we was always taught that if you was in this position, you was better than this person. And if you was in the house cooking, you was better than the one out there picking cotton and everything else. Until this day, like, it's still the same thing, man. We competing with each other in everything we do, man. If you got a nice car, I want to have a better car. If you got nice shoes, I want to have a better shoes. If your girl look like this, I want my girl to look like this. If we running a race, I gotta beat you by this much. If we playing a video game, I gotta beat you by this much. It's a constant competition. And that's why we can't get along, and we can't get nothing ahead, and we can't build no unity with each other, because it's always brother against brothers. We've been pitted against each other since day one, and you see it nonstop. You see it, you see it in the entertainment business. You see rappers going at it. You see actors going at it. You see Chris Rock smacking. Chris Rock getting smacked by Will Smith. That's just, brother. The biggest stages. It starts from the smallest stages to the biggest stages. We always competing with each other, and we always trying to pull each other down, and we always hating on each other, and it's bad, man. That's why when we open up our businesses, we don't get that support from each other, because you might get support from the people who really support you, but that other brother, he gonna be jealous of you deep down inside, and he ain't gonna want to spend no money with you to get your business up off the ground. And instead of spending with you, he'll go to the other races and spend their money, just because he don't want to feel like he putting money in your pocket. He don't want to see you doing better than him. And it's crazy. Like, it's nonstop. You see it in families. You get to a family reunion, you see these two cousins competing with each other. You see these two grandmas competing with each other. You see these two kids compete with each other. And it started off when we're young, but it's been embedded in our culture for 400 years, and that's why it's so hard to break. But we got to stop that, man. As a people, we ain't gonna never get nowhere unless we start supporting each other in everything we do, and start holding each other accountable, and start having each other back. It shouldn't. You see the whole scandals that been going on with Kyrie and Kanye West. It should be no black person, so-called black person, to get on TV and down on brothers in front of all these other races, because you don't see that with the other races. You don't see, the Chinese going at each other. You don't see the Mexicans getting on TV downing each other. You don't see the whites getting on TV downing each other. But the minute one of us do something that the world don't like, who the first person they come to get to talk about it? They go get another black man to shame another black man. And it'll be black man after black man after black man coming on different media outlets, just tearing these brothers down. But you can't see that in no other race, and we need to stand up. And I ain't saying we got to support something that we don't believe in, but it's a way to go about things. Instead of getting in front of the camera or getting in front of the media telling this brother what you don't like about what he said or what he did, you go to that person and you tell him behind the scenes. But we don't need to go in front of the cameras and just down each other every time. And that's just our culture. And it got to end, because it's breaking us down. And if we ever want to build as a people, we need to quit the competitions, and that's male versus male, female versus female, brother versus sister. We got to quit all the competitions, and we got to find some way that we can come and band together as a people. That's it. Another thing, our culture, we got to do. We gotta go back to being natural, man. Just being natural. Like, it's getting crazy out here. That was never our culture, but we done seen that what Hollywood is doing and what these elite people with money done start doing, and now we think it's okay to be fake. Fake hair, fake boobs, fake nails, fake butts, fake eyelashes, fake noses. Dudes is now going to get ab surgery and getting fake abs. They skin creams to lighten up your skin so you ain't no longer dark skinned and you ain't no longer brown, so you can look white. We getting tattoos to cover up every part of our body. Piercings and everything else, man. That was never our culture, and we gotta understand that, man. That ain't never been us. Like, you know what I'm saying? But we thinking that's the way to be. And instead of working out and getting our bodies the natural way, we'd rather go pay. Or instead of us being okay with being skinny or being okay with the figure that God gave us, we going to get, enhancements and making the thing look better and everything else. But that stuff is getting old, man. We done took it, we done ran with it, and we done took over. And now that's all you see on TV when you see our people is with all these enhancements. And when the person started to take all that off, you really don't even know what a person look like when they go home and they take off their eyelashes and they take all the makeup off their face, and that woman take off their wig and she pop off their face nails. You getting a total different perception of what she looked like versus what she really is. And we gotta, as a people, we gotta accept being natural. We gotta accept who we is when we look in the mirror, because God made all of us beautiful. and we don't need none of these enhancements to be who he is. And at the end of the day, don't none of that change what's on the inside of a person. You know, don't none of that do anything to build up your self-esteem. You might think you do, but at the end of the day, it's all fake self-esteem. If you got to do something on the outside, if you got to do something to project yourself on the outside to look better, man, then you really ain't good with yourself inside. Because when you good with yourself inside, it don't matter what you looking like. It don't matter what you got on that day. It don't matter like if your hair look like this. If you content with who you is, don't none of that stuff mean nothing. Now I ain't saying it ain't okay for you to want to look better, but it's natural ways to go about that. Like you don't have to put all that fake stuff on or perceive a whole different image than who you truly is to be who you is. And so we got to get away from that. We got to stop with all the tattoos, man. Back in 50s and 60s and 70s, man, you ain't see no black people with tattoos, like, at all, for real. Like, when you look at some of them old pictures of some of your favorite people, they ain't had no tattoos. They wasn't covered up in tattoos, and that was something that white people did. And I ain't taking nothing away from white people. I ain't being racist or nothing, but I'm just stating the facts. I mean, they was doing all of it in the 80s, going to crazy. Bikers and stuff like that was the ones wearing all these tattoos and piercings. And then we had one rapper, maybe two rappers start going crazy with tattoos and piercings and everything else, and now that's our culture. You know what I'm saying? Now we want our bodies covered and painted with all these tattoos and stuff like that. And I got tattoos, so I know, like, you know what I'm saying? I got piercings, you know, so I know, like, you know what I'm saying? I done been trapped in that before and thinking that was cool because that was the culture, but we got to get back to being natural and being content who we is. We don't have to mark up our body. We don't have to get these enhancements. We don't have to put on these wigs, these eyelashes, these fake nails. None of that stuff matter at the end of the day. All that matters is what's truly inside of us, and we got to start building back up that natural culture because, like I said, God made us beautiful. Like, and we got to learn how to accept who He is and be able to be content when we look in the mirror. You got to, at the end of the day, you got to be happy with yourself. If you ain't happy with yourself, it don't matter how much you enhance your body or try to change who you is. You never gonna be happy with yourself. And we done got crazy with it, you know. It started with Michael Jackson, and he became unrecognizable to the person he grew up as. And now you got so many artists like Lil' Kim, Serena Williams. Lil' Kim with all the plastic surgery, she unrecognizable who she is. Serena Williams lighting up her skin. Sammy Sosa lighting up his skin, and it was a whole big thing in some of these Spanish countries like the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, where all these people was really lighting their skin because it was like a class thing. The more white they look, the better they look to them, and that's when something going on up here. That's when you ain't got no self-value, and that's these people with millions and millions of dollars, and if they running around transforming who they is, then you know it's something wrong up here. And it don't matter how much money you get, if you ain't right inside your heart, it don't mean nothing. Another thing we need to cancel culture is I mean, this one's gonna be hard for me because I done did a couple videos of rap music, and it's hard to me because I used to love music, and I still do love music, but the type of music that I listen to now, it's still rap music, but the rap music I listen to now is all about the Most High. It's all about God. It's still banging beats and it's still banging lyrics and everything else, but the subject matter is way changed. But what we need to cancel is the rap music. I mean, it's getting more evident and evident. I mean, since I did a video a year ago talking about the rap game and everything else, about how these rappers was in jail or dead, and since then, about a good 6 or 7 rappers done passed away since then, and not even passed away, basically done got killed, and it's been one after another, month after month after month after month. And what we don't fail to realize is when you listen to rap music, the message that is being put out there, the negativity to go behind all that, and the stuff that they saying and everything else, there's so much power with the tongue that is ridiculous, man. And the stuff that they saying and the stuff that they putting out there, it's manifesting on themselves, not even with them, man. Them, the rappers and the people who make it the news. You hear about the celebrities when they getting killed, but believe me, it's hundreds of more people that happen to every single day. You know, and but yet we keep screaming change, and we keep screaming it's sad when some of this stuff happens. The only time any of this thing gonna change is when we stop that message, man. We stop putting out that music where it's okay to be, you know, sliding on your ops. It's okay to be posted up selling fentanyl. It's okay to be selling dog food. It's okay to be beefing with a whole neighborhood. It's okay for you to be you know, shooting up blocks and everything else. Ain't nothing gonna never change until we quit putting out that message that it's okay to do that stuff, man. Like, and that stuff is manifesting in real life. And when celebrities get killed, it's a big deal. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's tons and tons and tons of people sad. But when that stuff happens every single day, man, the only people that be sad about that stuff is the people who got killed or down these streets, loved ones, and their friends and family. That's it. Them the only people be sad. Like, if you don't know about it, you be like, oh, such and such got killed on the other side of town. Half the time you don't even be like, dang, that's sad, or you don't even think about it. Like, because it's become so common. And this rap music is paying a big detrimental harm to our culture. And like I said, it's hard for me because when I was in the world and I was doing a whole lot of stuff, I was pumping them same lyrics out there. So take it for somebody for me. Like, I feel sorry for saying some of the stuff I was saying on track that I was saying, or talking about some of the stuff I was doing. I feel sorry for all that stuff right now because I see it every single day, man. Like, it ain't no, I'm guaranteeing, man, everybody out there knows somebody who done got killed in the streets or somebody who got shot, been close to death. Not the entertainer, somebody that they know in real life. And when that happened, they be wondering why. But this rap music got a lot to do with it because it's the soundtrack. Like, it's the music. It's the stuff you growing up to. Music is so influential. I mean, music, when I was young and 18, 19, man, the music was so influential on my life. Like, all the stuff that I was hearing in that music, I really wanted to do. Like, I really wanted to act out that stuff. And then I wanted to rap about it. I wanted to do it. And then I hear a rapper rapping about it, and it'll make me hype to do it. And then once I did it, I wanted to rap about it because, all right, now I'm doing what the rapper's doing. Now I'm doing this. Now I'm doing that. Now I want to talk about it, and I want to let people know what I'm doing. So it's influential. Like, and you know it's influential because when you look around, ain't no positive music out there. And the positive music that is out there ain't getting no push. Ain't getting no push to the mass media. You don't hear nothing about it. It ain't celebrated or it ain't talked about as much as the negative stuff. And it's okay, you know, for us to talk about killing each other, talking about us doing this to our own people. It's okay for all the negative stuff we put in the music. And you should know something wrong. Because the minute you don't even, just think about if a rapper made a song from a different race, and he was rapping about that same race. He was talking about doing the same stuff he do to us to a different race in the song. He'd be banned. He'd be canceled. You would never hear from him. They'd shut him down and everything else. And so that's why we got to know it's pure evil behind this, man. This music industry ain't set up for us to win, man. It's set up for us to fail, and it's set up for us to continue to kill each other and continue to promote this violence. So we just doing what they want to do. We knocking each other off with no regard, man. And it get crazy and crazy once the more you think about it. Like, and think about hip hop when it came out. You had Tribe Called Quest, you had KRS-One, you had Queen Latifah. You had a whole lot of positive rap and everything else, but that ain't what the mass media wanted, and that ain't what they wanted to push. Because that was enlightening us. That was making us think when you heard some of that stuff. Like, oh man, like that was making us unite and everything else. But now, you can't turn on the radio without hearing something ignorant and something negative that ain't doing nothing but dumbing us down and making us want to do something to each other. And I don't care what city you in, like I always say, I don't care what city you in, what state you in. That's all you got to do is turn on the news and watch it for a half an hour, and I guarantee you in 3 or 4 days you're gonna see a news article where we doing something to each other. And what we got to realize is that was gave to us. That wasn't our culture. You know what I'm saying? That ain't the music we should be pumping out there. Just because these artists is getting millions and millions and millions of dollars, you know what I'm saying, to put this music out here, that ain't what we should be striving to do, because that ain't doing nothing but killing each other. It's genocide, man. It's the soundtrack to genocide, man. That's what rap music is these days. Is how to subliminally trick us to want to do harm to our own people more and more. And if we ain't killing them, if we selling drugs to them, and if we ain't selling drugs to them, then we cheating on our women, and the women cheating on their guys, and then now they even got it to where in the rap music where you got female rappers bragging about having abortion and killing babies. Like, it's crazy, man, that stuff get pushed out there and promoted to our people. And you can't listen to no other music where they talking about none of that. You can't listen to no country where they talking about doing no stuff like that. You can't listen to no rock where they talking about doing that. You can't listen to no pop where they talking about doing that. You can't listen to no other form of music where half of the stuff the rappers get off, and they want to talk about hate speech. Man, when you listen to a rap song, man, it ain't nothing but hate speech. Ain't none of these rappers getting canceled. You know why they ain't getting canceled? Because they talking about doing all this stuff to you, and they okay with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? As long as it ain't another race that it's happening to, but it's okay with us when we killing each other, and that's all we got to do is understand that that's not our culture. And another thing I want to talk about, is entertainment, like, all together, man. Like, we got to get away from half the stuff we watching, man. That ain't our culture, man. To the movie industry, to where, like, we putting movies out, and in all our movies, we want to be Scarface, man. Like, that stuff is gave to us, man. Everything ain't based on drugs in our neighborhoods, man. Everything ain't based on us shooting up each other, man. When you look at the TV now, man, where it's all black programming, like I did a video on this before too, though, but when you look at it, man, it ain't nothing about drug dealer. It's about us killing each other, or it's about some dumbass reality show where everybody on there having all type of problems, and everybody on there looking like they need mental therapy. So everybody on there fighting every episode. We acting crazy, arguing on every episode. We cheating on women on every episode, or the women cheating on the husband on every episode. Everybody on the show, when you have a reunion, cussing and fighting and throwing chairs. Every other reunion, there's some reality, and that ain't the real reality of life, man. And if that's our reality, man, then we need to change it, man. That's point blank period. That culture is not us, man. You got all your top reality shows is centering around people that look like us. And the people that look like us, man, is always on there acting a fool, man. I don't care whatever show you turn to, it's us on there acting crazy. And they make it, so they even got shows where they going into counseling, and they got shows where they going into therapy, and 90% of the people on there is people that look like us. We ain't all that messed up in the head, man. So we got to quit believing that, and we got to quit going with this entertainment agenda just to get a check, man. We got to quit wanting to play these roles that's going to do more harm and effect to the people that's actually watching them than the people who actually doing the roles, man. We got to quit being okay with that, man. Like, it's getting crazier and crazier, man, and we got to understand, man, that that's not our culture, man. Just because somebody offer you a little money to play this role, so we got to get into the position where we like, nah, we ain't playing this role. Nah, I ain't doing this. And nah, I ain't doing that. Like, nah, I'm not going to be a man putting on a dress, or I'm not going to be a man in a movie where I'm going to have to kill a whole bunch of other black actors, or I'm not going to be a black actor in a film where I got to sell drugs to everybody, or I'm not going to be this young black actor who gonna have to do everything in the world wrong and wind up shooting my father, or shooting my mother, or my mother going to jail behind the stuff I'm doing. Like, we gotta wise up, man. Like, and we gotta understand, and we gotta look at the rest of the programming that's going on, man. Like, and I do mean programming, because that stuff is programming. you don't see nothing in a positive light out here for people to watch. You know, what about that kid who don't want to watch all that negative stuff? What option is you leaving them? Like, you leaving them none. Like, and so we got to understand, man, that ain't our culture. And we got to start coming up with movies that's positive and showing us in a positive light and showing us in a family environment. You ain't got one show out there right now like The Cosby Show or Family Matters at all today. Everything is negative. It ain't one black positive show right that's on TV that you can think about. And we gotta change that, man. And if we don't do something about it, then who is? And if we ain't changing it, you know how we can change it? We gotta stop watching it. And we gotta stop supporting that stuff. We gotta stop supporting the rap music. We gotta stop supporting the feminist movement in some of these movies. We gotta stop supporting all the negativity that we see, the gang violence, the drug dealing in the music and in the entertainment. And that's the only way that this stuff gonna change is when we quit putting our money up there to go behind it. Like, because the more we spend and the more we watch it and the more we make it the number one show and the more we make the number one album, it's just going to get crazier and crazier and crazier and crazier. And so, all this cancel culture going on, and I'm looking at my people and telling them, like, we need to cancel our culture because it's bad out here. Like, and if we ever want to change as a people, and we ever want to rise up, and we ever want to do something, if we ever want to lead something for the next generation, we got to start now because it's getting worse and worse, man. It ain't going to never get better, man. It's only going to continue to go downhill. And we got the power to actually change stuff. So I'm telling y'all, with all this cancel culture, let's cancel our culture. So, real motivation, please like, share, comment. Shalom.